Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. CamLogic Incorporated is a holistic manufacturing solutions provider utilizing PLM software, additive and subtractive manufacturing, and quality control. CamLogic boasts 30 years of PLM expertise, providing unparalleled products and services to develop and support design through manufacturing. We work with manufacturers across industries, from industrial and heavy equipment to automotive and beyond, to strengthen their engineering and manufacturing performances. As a Siemens Solid Edge expert partner, we're excited to have Jason Walker showcase what's new in Designcenter Solid Edge 2026. Hundreds of customer requested enhancements, powerful new AI-driven capabilities, and a renewed focus on giving designers more time to innovate. There will be a Q&A session at the end of the webinar, so feel free to enter any questions in the chat. With that, Jason, take it away.
Thank you for the introduction. Before we get started, I wanted to run through what we're going to talk about in today's webinar. I will briefly talk about the accelerator portfolio, then I will talk about the new features and enhancements in Designcenter Solid Edge 2026. I'll also mention a new offer in Designcenter X Solid Edge specifically. And finally, we will end with a Q&A session. The Siemens Accelerator portfolio is an open digital business platform. It has a large focus on being flexible, having interoperability, and being scalable. Siemens' vision is to connect design, simulation, and manufacturing all under one umbrella. Of course, this requires a very large portfolio that spans many different disciplines, and they all have to work together. To help with this, the Accelerator portfolio has been organized into different software suites based on their domains. You might be familiar with some of them: SimCenter, TeamCenter, OpCenter, and Technomatics. Well, earlier this year, Siemens introduced Designcenter as the engineering and design domain. Of course, this includes Solid Edge, and it will be together with NX, and they will make a fully comprehensive suite of engineering and design software. To reflect the introduction of Designcenter, there has been a rename to Solid Edge. This will help make it a bit more cohesive with some of the other products in the portfolio also. So Solid Edge Foundation, Classic, and Premium will now be referred to as Designcenter Solid Edge Standard, Advanced, and Premium. It doesn't change any features or functionality, but we wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of the change to avoid any surprises or confusion in the future. Now I can get to the part everyone's excited for. There's been quite a few changes in Designcenter Solid Edge 2026, including the introduction of a few AI-driven tools that have generated a lot of excitement. There's also been more than 500 customer-requested enhancements that have been implemented in this year's release. I picked out a few of the new features and enhancements that I thought were most relevant, and I thought customers and those of you that I've talked to would like to see. While I go through these, I want you to think about how much time some of these topics could save you, because that's been the main focus. Even with the AI-driven tools and some of the other enhancements, there's been a lot of productivity boosters and time savers in this release of Designcenter Solid Edge. Starting in the assembly environment, I wanted to go over first the magnetic snap command. This is one of the new AI-driven commands in this release of Designcenter Solid Edge, and this is going to change the way that you create your assemblies. All that you need to do with this command is drag your component toward their intended location, and they will snap into place. This does automatically create assembly relationships, and it has support for snapping cylinders, straight and circular edges, as well as coordinate systems. This can save you up to 50% on the time it takes you to put your assembly together, which is a massive amount of time, especially if you consider the length of time it takes to, put together an entire project, an entire assembly. So if you Imagine the what else you could do with that time saved, how many hours you spend building and putting together your assembly. That'll all be can all be used elsewhere. The command is available in advanced and premium tiers of Solid Edge. So if you're already there, you will have this in your core CAD. It's built into your license. And like I had said, this does create the relationships automatically, again, based on what you select. So because I selected a circle or cylinder there, I got axial lines. If I were to have selected a straight edge or a plane, I would get planar lines. And so yeah, it's a huge time saver, changes the way that you can build your assemblies, and it's one of the commands I was most excited to show you today. The next command that I wanted to highlight is the Visual Explode command. This is an existing command that was released a few versions ago, but it has seen a significant enhancement in Designcenter Solid Edge 2026. In previous versions, it was really only you could really only use it to get a representation of your model exploded. It didn't have a lot of downstream use cases, but that has changed with this release. It still is the same command. You can use it to explode your assembly to varying degrees. There are two modes, a regular explode and stepwise. I will show both here momentarily. So this is a regular explode. It just all parts explode away from each other equally and in the same rate. Stepwise will explode the assembly into its subassemblies and then down to the next level of subassemblies all the way until you get to the individual components. The biggest enhancement is the Save Configuration button that you see in the command bar. This allows you to save the exploded view you create with Visual Explode as an actual display view, meaning it can be used downstream in places like a drawing, so you can have an exploded view in your drawings, or you can create images and animations in the ERA environment, or by pairing this with technical publications, you can quickly create step-by-step animated work instructions in a fraction of the time that you could previously. So it really does make this command a lot more powerful. It has a lot more uses downstream, when paired with other tools. But just by being able to make those exploded views quicker, you can create the content those are made from quicker also. So I am just going to place this in a drawing real fast so that we can see it used downstream here. All right, so now that we can see the exploded drawing view that I created using the Visual Explode command, just placing it a little bit in the middle of the drawing. So that's what I wanted to demonstrate with this one, just how fast and easy it is to create these exploded views and use them in other environments. Walkthrough is another new command that I wanted to talk about. This is one that lets you step into your design and walk through your model from a first-person perspective. Anybody who's used NX and is familiar with the fly-through command will find this a very familiar capability. It allows you to, again, navigate your model from that first-person perspective, and you can use your keyboard and mouse with the W, A, S, and D keys, or an Xbox or PlayStation controller. There's a lot of benefits to using this. It's great for collaboration with team members, or it works really good as a presentation enhancer to boost those stakeholder and design review presentations. By looking at your assembly model from a different perspective and being able to look at it from the inside. It also has the capability of recording the path you take to be used later on, whether that's in the ERA, like the Solid Edge Explode Render Animate environment, or And of course, since you can export it as a camera path to the ERA environment, it can also be pushed along into KeyShot to make something a photorealistic rendering. So I'm just recording a path going around, and then I will also go inside the model here. Any kind of marketing content or stakeholder presentations, design reviews. It can also, you can use it to help with looking at potential ergonomic issues or even certain types of clearances. It could be useful to spot those just with that different point of view that you normally can't get. So I did finish that and recorded it so we can see that I'm now in the ERA environment, or I have the animation viewer in Solid Edge open, and I'm playing back the path that I just took at 2x speed. Of course, I could take this animation and edit it further in, staying inside Solid Edge, or I can export it to KeyShot. I did, before doing this webinar, I did take some time to render a portion of that path as in KeyShot. So you can see this is like I said, it's only about 4 seconds, but an example of the photorealistic capabilities by combining that capability with rendering in KeyShot. So the walkthrough command itself is available in standard, advanced, and premium licenses, and then KeyShot is available with advanced and premium. Next, I wanted to talk about some part and sheet metal commands, primarily sheet metal. First is a new command called tab and slot. This is a command that automatically creates matching tab and slot features. It can be used to create these features in one or more components. And the resulting tabs and slots will always be aligned, which is one of the biggest benefits of using this feature. In the demonstration, I am going to find a subassembly in this truck model where I'm going to add the tabs and slots in. This is a great new command for creating the interlocking components that automatically align themselves together in that manufacturing process. It makes creating weldments significantly easier and prevents potential errors when you're making edits in the future because those slots and tabs will always be aligned. Because they are a single feature, it's really difficult to make changes to one and not the other. So I will select an edge here on the supporting beam underneath the top plate. And I'll create a second set in a moment on the other side of that supporting beam. And then we can take a look at what the slots and tabs look like. You'll also notice that a lot of these parameters are very similar to the pattern command. In fact, there's even like a pattern type that you'll be familiar with. So you have the fill and fixed options. So I'll create the second identical set here. Again, it's a common theme with this release of Solid Edge, Designcenter Solid Edge, and normally this would require multiple features, at least one pattern, maybe two, and it's much easier to create this type of feature and this type of weldment using the tab and slot command. This feature is available in standard, advanced, and premium tiers of Solid Edge in the sheet metal and assembly environments, so it can be used on single or multiple components. Next, I wanted to discuss the multi-edge flange command. This is an existing command in the ordered sheet metal environment that lets you create multiple flanges in one feature in your tree. This will help you create those manufacturable sheet metal components much faster than before. So it is an existing command, like I said, and it has always let you create multiple tabs and, multiple flanges at once by selecting each edge that you want to create a flange from. The enhancement that was made in this release is that now there is a trim toggle, which will automatically trim and miter the flanges you're creating. This will save a lot of time because in previous versions you would have had to manually trim and miter the edges of those sheet metal components, which, depending on the number of them, could be quite a tedious and time-consuming process. There's also options for gaps, angles, so you can get the exact component that you're looking for and the exact shapes you're looking for very, very quickly. This is again a very, very big time saver if this is the type of component you make, and it only takes a few minutes to create your multi-edge flanges with the tabs automatically trimmed and mitered. Again, just like the previous command, this one is available in standard, advanced, and premium tiers. It is a sheet metal command, specifically in the ordered sheet metal environment. Next, I wanted to talk about drafting and model-based definition. There was a couple of commands that I wanted to cover in here. First and foremost, the new automatic drawings command. This is another artificial intelligence driven command, and it will let you create a drawing that is 70 to 80% complete, all within just a few clicks, and it only takes about 15 seconds to generate. I'll display that here. There's no prerequisite work required for this. There's no PMI, no dimensions, just the model. And all I need to do is go and click the automatic drawings button and generate my drawing. So while this generates, which should only take a few seconds, think about how long it takes to generate or create your drawings the manual way. Because when this comes in, like I said, it's between 70 and 80% completed and can save you a massive amount of time in creating your drawings. Most of the remaining work is moving the dimensions so that they don't overlap and maybe removing a couple of unnecessary ones depending on the geometry of the part you're creating a drawing for. A vast majority of the work to create your drawing is already completed, and you just have to add the finishing touches. Like I'm going to add some center marks and center lines to this drawing. I moved a few dimensions around, and I'm pretty much nearly done here. This command is available only in value-based licensing for both Designcenter Solid Edge and Designcenter X Solid Edge. And it's a very powerful tool if you are creating a lot of drawings. This will save you a lot of time. The next command I wanted to talk about is the revision table command. I'm actually very excited about this one because I've had several people directly ask me about this feature and if there was something that already existed in previous versions. I've seen over the years all kinds of different methods on how organizations made their revision tables, whether they had a block that they could add to their drawing or they had a table that they added rows to. I've seen a bunch of variations of it, but that is no more. Now we have a dedicated table to tracking your revision changes and drawing changes. This is available in standard, advanced, and premium licenses, and it can work with the dimension tracker, and there's a few options to customize it for your workflow. So I was excited to talk about this one, especially because I know people on the call here have asked about this in the past. Next are a handful of user experience changes. These were very nice quality of life changes that just make using Solid Edge easier, starting with the dark theme. I know I was excited for this one. I've been kind of waiting for it for a while because I use everything I can in dark theme. I know not everybody likes it, but I find it easier on the eyes. And it was always kind of funny because I had everything in dark mode, but I couldn't put Solid Edge there. So I was really happy to see this one, and I think other people will be excited for it. I know, like I said, it's not for everybody, but still wanted to point this one out if you hadn't already noticed in some of the other demos. The other change that was really nice is a change to how show and hide works with the undo and redo commands. In previous versions, show and hide just didn't register. And so if you accidentally hid the wrong component, you could not undo that. You had to go show it manually. That's not the case anymore. Now, if you accidentally hide that component or accidentally show a component, you can Control Z or click the undo button, and it will reappear or disappear depending on what you're trying to undo. Since these are all just user experience changes, these are available in all tiers of Solid Edge, and will be, they're built into the core CAD system. Next are a few changes to simulation. The biggest one is a new change with the body mesh command or toggle. Body mesh is a toggle that changes how the mesher behaves, giving you a higher quality mesh where it's necessary on your model, and so you'll have a variable size throughout. This has been optimized even further to give you higher quality meshes in less time. So the quick simulations and FEA studies that you've been running can be run even further and even faster. The show failed elements, another change is that the show failed elements button has been moved to a better location. It is now inside the check element quality menu. This is a great change. It makes a lot of sense. It was previously inside the meshes under the tree, and it was kind of hard. If you didn't know about it, it was kind of hard to find. Overall, in simulation, if you're curious about it, just where you can get it, how to use this, if you're not sure, the linear static analysis can be done on single parts if you have standard or advanced licenses. You have the ability to use it with assemblies in premium. And there are additional analysis types and a few more tools available with simulation standard and advanced licenses. You can reach out to us if you have specific questions on how to get which capabilities. If there's a specific simulation type you need, let us know and we can help you with that. Next, I wanted to talk about value-based licensing. If you're unfamiliar with it, it is a different way of getting your add-on capabilities through Solid Edge. Over the years, it was released a few versions back and has steadily gained new products each release. This release is no exception. So there are many new products available through value-based licensing. You can see those on the left there, including that automatic drawings that I had shown earlier. Automatic drawings is only available through value-based licensing, in addition to the other products. So if you're interested in any of these, or if you're interested in any of the products that were released in years past, let us know. We can help you with that. There's a lot to offer here, and it really helps because you can access all of the tools with one purchase. It's not one tool with one license. You can get all of the capabilities, like I said, with one pack of tokens here. Next, I wanted to talk about Designcenter X Solid Edge, which is the Solid Edge version that is cloud enabled. It is the same Solid Edge that you're comfortable with. It works the same, feels the same, but there's a few slight differences. One is that it is name user and login based licensing that can be accessed anywhere. So if you have a different workstation, whether that's at home or multiple at the office, wherever they might be, as long as you have Solid Edge installed, you can access your license from any workstation with just logging in with your Siemens account. Next is that Designcenter X Solid Edge comes with built-in cloud data management that is based on Teamcenter X. It is a great way to get started with data management. It's a very robust system. You can access your data from anywhere since it is based on Teamcenter X, meaning it is stored in the cloud. And one more unique feature for Designcenter X is that there is an AI-powered assistant built into the software. So if you ever have any questions about how to do certain things or where to find certain things, you can type them into the AI assistant and it will help you. Designcenter X Solid Edge also saw the same rename, so it is referred to as Designcenter X Solid Edge, Standard, Advanced, and Premium. And one other offering that I wanted to mention, in addition to the other new products that were released for Designcenter Solid Edge, Designcenter X Solid Edge specifically also has access to SimCenter FlowEFD for Solid Edge through value-based licensing. If you're not familiar with SimCenter FlowEFD, it is a computational fluid dynamics analysis tool that lets you analyze fluid flow and heat transfer. So if you're making, whether it's you need to analyze heat exchangers or make sure that the housing of your electronics isn't getting too hot, or need to analyze your heat management system, this is a wonderful tool for it. I know a lot of customers with electronic components in their products use this to analyze how well the cooling systems are functioning and how well their heat management is working. So I just wanted to mention that it is available in value-based licensing for Designcenter X Solid Edge. It is still available normally with licenses for Designcenter Solid Edge. So those are the changes that I wanted to talk about today. Those are the things that I thought I wanted to highlight for our customers in this year's release of Designcenter Solid Edge. Hopefully you found it helpful. Of course, if you have any questions, now's a good time. We can go into our Q&A session.
Thank you again for taking time out of your day to join us. We hope today's session sparked some ideas and gave you a clearer picture of how these new features and enhancements can help streamline your work and save meaningful time across your engineering and manufacturing processes. If any additional questions come to mind, or if you'd like to dive deeper into any of the functionality we showcased, please reach out to your account manager. If you're not sure who that is, feel free to visit camlogic.com and use the Contact Us form. Our team will make sure you're connected with the right person. Thanks again for joining us. We look forward to supporting your continued success.